Okay. Hello. Okay, we hopefully going to be working. I'm just going to make sure that the audio does come through once it's the live stream syncs up. But hello and welcome to the KiddieWinks live build, LEGO Technic live build. Today we're going to be, or this weekend, we're going to be building the Lamborghini Sián, which is just been released to all retailers this month. And I'm actually joined here with me. I'm just going to put him on the screen here. Joined with Alain here, who's going to be building. So it's the two of us who are going to be building. Doing things a bit differently. I can now just check if the audio is working. Yes, I can hear us. Okay, so hopefully if anyone has any issues with the audio, please do just let us know in the comments. But for now, I think that seems to be working. Normally we would do this in one of our shops, our Willowbridge shop, but for obvious reasons we aren't able to do that today. So instead we're going to be doing this on a live stream on several platforms. We've managed to sync them all together. We're going to be doing that. I don't think we need to do anything else. I don't know if you want to say hello or anything.
Hello everyone, hopefully people are watching and enjoy the stream. It's going to be an interesting thing. We've got these massive 6 kg boxes to open and get going on. It's going to be a long process.
Indeed. Okay, and we have Peter, our first person commenting, saying, "Hey guys, enjoy the build." Thanks so much, Peter. Peter actually was the first LEGO community member to build one of these big LEGO Technic sets, and he built the Bugatti. Flew down to Cape Town to do that. So great to have Peter watching here. So I think let's get going. I'm gonna grab this from behind here.
Slice this one open and see how it all goes.
I should also apologize while we're opening for starting late. We had some technical difficulties, as one would with live streams. We seem to have fixed everything, so hopefully things will go smoothly now. We originally had intended to have 4 different cameras, but we have resorted to just 2, so we'll be moving the cameras around as we need to. Okay. My word, I'm gonna knock the camera. How do you get them out so easily? This is a ginormous box. Interesting to note that there are these side. Oh, we've just lost. No, we haven't lost anything. Yeah, sorry, I thought we lost the live stream for a second.
Yeah, there's some side packaging in the box.
There's this interesting side packaging in the box, which is will be useful for packaging courier parcels. So let's just turn this down a bit. There we go, so we can actually see what's happening. So this here is I've got the front of the box here on this side, and Alan's got the back of the box there. Interesting front. Let me turn this around so you can actually see a little bit more. Not much more. But yeah, very bland front of the box. But I suppose you don't need to say much more than that. Okay. I think I need to open here. Where's the knife gone? Do you need the knife? You can start doing that while I just check that everything on here is still working fine. While we open these up, we're actually going to play. I've got the official global launch video, which was aired just over 2 months ago. So we're just going to play that quickly now, and then we'll be able to show you what we've got inside here. Okay, and we're back. So yeah, that was the global launch video, which aired, it was about 2.5 months ago to reveal this incredible set. So we've managed to get these open, and I'm just on my camera at the moment, just so you can see the sort of the full scale. When we go across to both of them, both the cameras again, you won't be able to see the whole box again. But it seems to, I mean, some of you will have seen this already, come in these big boxes. But let's go across to both of us quickly. And then you can see us taking this apart. Okay. Are you sharing the stream sufficiently?
So this is one of the criticisms of the box. The first one you take out is number 6, and you basically got to take them all out. But it's designed to look like the real car. So as with these other big ones, you have numbered boxes where there's different parts inside each of them.
I think these are going to remain stacked if I do this. Or they're going to fall over into the little three. Might work. Okay, and then we have number 2 over there. And finally, number 1. Okay, let's just turn this around and you can see. There you can see the 2 instruction booklets are laid out separately, showing the full car. I assume book 1 is the rear end, yes. Okay. And it's got this nice. It's quite nice.
And inside if you look inside the top of the lid, you can see that the Lamborghini logo is embossed, and it's got some quotes, which I'm not going to come up on camera. So there's some writing there, quote, and it says number 63. You can just make out on the ends there. So not as much as the Bugatti boxes.
No, it doesn't feel
Because
like
that
it.
one you could repack the boxes and have it a different way.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this looks good. We have actually got, just so anyone watching is aware, we are going to be, as we're going through, anyone who has built this will know that there are at various points markers in the books where we can watch, I think they've called them webisodes, of the design process, and we're actually going to be showing them on the live stream as well, so you'll be able to watch them too as we go along. So that will be an extra addition which will be happening. I can't remember what page the first one is on. Actually, it might be already there. So we will just see when we get to that. But I think for now, I'm following suit with Alan and getting the boxes opened. How did you get this open?
On the side, long edge.
It's the long edge, not the short edge. Are you managing with the camera there?
Yeah, I'm just adjusting it.
I can lift it a bit if you need it.
Yeah, I can definitely. Not going to fit everything in.
Will you just tell me how it's looking inside?
That's better. Let's just rotate slightly. Yeah, so there's a lot in that first bag, first box.
Yes, this feels like it is very full. Okay.
A whole bunch of numbered instructions.
We currently have 6 people watching. That's very exciting. I wasn't too sure how many people would be using their Friday evening to watch us. Okay. I'm actually just going to open the list of those videocast webisodes which I was telling you about, just so you can actually see when exactly they're going to be coming. There we go.
Well, I just scrolled through the instructions. I've got them up digitally, and page 28 is where you can actually start on the building. I'll bring it across there.
Okay, cool.
There's a whole bunch of pages, and it references the web. So I think, so this is gearbox and suspension is where we actually start building. So let's watch all the webisodes up to the leg.
Oh my. Are we going to be watching lots of webisodes? Okay, we have lots. Okay, we might distribute a few of these across. We won't be watching all of these right at the beginning, because there are several early on, I have realized.
Yeah, they start building.
Okay. Right.
So do you want to perhaps put on the first
I'm going to
webisode?
put the first one on.
And then we can open the packets while that's on. So that
Yes, we do, yes. Okay, so let's get this first webisode loaded. There we go, and let's have...
My name is Uwe Weber. I have been in LEGO for 23 years, and I am a senior designer. I have mostly worked with Technic and also be a little bit time in racers. My background is actually I'm a chef.
My name is Jeppe. I'm the creative lead of LEGO Technic. That means I head up the design department in LEGO Technic. And I've been at LEGO for 13 years. Been in design, but also in other departments. So my role is actually to set the direction for which models to choose, together with the rest of the team.
I'm a car builder in Technic, so the mostly cars I'm building. I did the Porsche too, so I think it was natural that I was building this one.
These projects come about by us looking at the different car partners out there and entering a dialogue with different partners. Also to find out what's actually their story behind their vehicle, their brand, what's their heritage, what's their design ethos behind what they're doing. That's very important for us also, because that's part of the story we want to tell also.
I like to do these big cars. I use a lot of time to create the shape of the model and put in all the elements so it gives a shape or a meaning that can see what it is.
When we build a new model, a new ultimate car in Technic, it has to be an ultimate car in the sense of the real car also. And that also means that, functions, gearboxes, engines, suspension systems, it also has to have something that's special so that we can build that in and really make our experience just as engaging as the real car is.
It was a whole new shape. We haven't seen it before. It was a whole new car. We have no idea how it looks when we were starting out on this one. So the first pictures we saw were not much. But again, we were trying to build it, and then of course talked with Lamborghini and see what they're saying and what they could give us back. It's a very big model. The shapes is different. Sometimes it's hard to build the smooth curve in these cars. We also have to put in functions. That's not also easy to do because it has to look very smooth and nice. We actually try to put in more magic into this model. So, but I will show you the functions. We can open up in the front like this. And we have suspension. And of course steering. And we can open up the doors like this. And if I show you the back, there we have the spoiler. You can actually put this one up like this. And you can also take this one off. And then you can look into the engine, V12 engine. And we also have a gearbox with 8 speed. And of course we can shift the gears, so you have the neutral and drive and back. And I can show you underneath. We have tried to make this window so you can see when you shift in the gears. So when you shift the gears, you shift 8 gears.
Just like the real pedal shift.
Yeah.
You also put something in under the hood.
Yeah, this is the fun part. We have a little sign that you can put up here. It's the Lamborghini Sián. And we also have a little bag. Just for the fun.
Okay, so I have a whole bunch of pieces sorted out. These are just basically the bags opened. What's interesting is these 2 boxes, identical boxes, are obviously less games, different part numbers, so we'll see that. A lot of gears. And hopefully there's not too much noise from Matthew. Still opening up.
I'm going to struggle a little bit with space.
Yes, there's a lot here. What looks like a big table to begin with suddenly disappears very quickly.
Actually move it over to the... Get this camera right.
Actually, can you lower this a bit? It's picking up the
Yes.
screen
Okay.
quite a bit. Yeah, that's better.
I'm actually going to move to the dual view. People can watch me unpack these things. Yeah, we actually, for anyone who is watching, we are aware that there are some dropping of frames happening. We are very sorry. I have reduced the bitrate and reduced everything I can, so hopefully it'll sort that out. But if it isn't, we will watch back the stream afterwards and correct it for tomorrow morning.
Yeah, because we had no illusions that this was going to take a long time.
Yes, absolutely. So the stream will hopefully get better as we progress. We seem to be having less dropped frames at the moment, which is good. So hopefully we have sorted out at least part of the issue. Okay, I'm gonna move some things up. I am absolutely gonna have to use my iPad to view these instructions.
Yeah, I've got the books here. I'm using the
Because
laptop.
I've run out of space otherwise. So let's get this up.
The very last link on the Legos page. This is the first book.
Is the first book, okay.
100. Hang on. The 142 meg download, so it's the second last one.
Okay, I've just got to connect here. We have Francois Rousseau saying hola.
Ah, cool.
We did actually have, and it will be nice to get it working for tomorrow, one of these scenes which will show the chat coming up on the one side, which will mean that Alan can be checking the chat out at the same time.
Yeah.
At the moment I have to read out all the comments, so yes, if you do comment, your comment will be read out.
Mm-hmm. So I work with Frank, who's also started building Lego.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Lego's moved to a adult focused.
Yeah, definitely with the black boxes.
Yeah. I was reading an article which sort of said that it's the end of Creator Expert. Although on all the price lists that we have, it still calls them Creator Expert, but I completely agree that some of the sets now you can barely tell are in a specific range.
Mm. It's going to make sense for some of it, but I don't know.
You said it's the second last link?
Yes,
Okay.
140 meg one.
Cool. We'll just let that. I remember I have to open it in Safari. Yeah, I think this year's been a good year for adults in Lego.
Oh yeah.
Sound is echoing. Okay, I will sort that out here quickly. I'm just going to actually mute the one microphone and we'll see if hopefully that fixes the sound echo. Yeah, just let us know if that sorts out the sound. Okay, this is busy downloading. I'm going to actually let's do a bit of sorting while that downloads. I get a vague idea of where things are.
Yeah, that's always amazing me how Lego decides to classify what goes together.
Yes.
Because there's definitely logic to these packets.
Yeah. But you also wonder sometimes. There is generally an effort, I think, to separate the packets, or separate similar looking pieces into different packets.
Yes.
That is something which they have been good at for quite a long time. You almost imagine a Lego designer. You ask them what their job is. No, I decide which pieces go into which packets.
I hope it's not a person's job, but it's more automated and they know the weights and things.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah. Because that would not be the fun job at Lego. So everyone else gets to build sets.
I decide which.
I get to put them into packets.
Yes. Which is definitely a good year. Francois says he's waiting for the 8080 and the Razor Crest. The 8080, I can tell you, is due to arrive in the country at the end of this month, and the Razor Crest is coming in September. We haven't heard that there has been any delays, so presumably it'll be in the first week of September. So yeah, that's very useful.
Yeah, I'm also waiting for those two.
I'll tell you the one, and I might as well ask this question now, which is gone like the wind. Is the 501st Legion
Battle pack.
battle? It's
not officially a battle pack.
It's not officially a battle pack.
So do you know the story behind that one?
I don't, which is why I'm bringing it up, because I genuinely don't know why it is sold so quickly.
Okay, so 501st were the troopers which were involved in some, look, not in the best parts of the Star Wars trilogy.
Okay.
They were involved with the, and this is spoilers, but the movies came out so long ago. If you haven't watched them, it's pretty much your own problem. But they were the troops which went in to kill the young Jedi at the Jedi Temple. There's also some famous characters from the in Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to know some of them, like Rex and things.
Okay.
So they released some 501st characters over a long time, and then a YouTuber called Ryan from M&R Productions started this campaign and started printing things and had Brits printed and handed out. We want a 501st battle pack. And LEGO sent him an email on the 1st of April saying, tomorrow we're announcing the 501st battle pack.
Oh wow.
And he's like, is this a joke? He didn't say anything, because obviously confidentiality.
Yeah.
And the next day it got announced, and he was absolutely blown away. And it's a very collectible thing. I think I've already got 2 of the
Well, I was going to say, I mean, I've heard of people buying 4 of these sets.
Yes, because they're great for army building.
Ah, so it's
So it gives you 4 501st troopers.
Yes, that's, I had noticed that.
And 2 droids.
Okay.
2 battle droids. With 2 nice bolts. So you get a walker and you get a bike that that you build with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's nice, and you can obviously build up a very quick army from that. And it also, there's rumors now spreading that battle packs of the future may change to more this style.
Okay.
So it's slightly more expensive, but you're getting 6 figures.
Yeah.
As opposed to the 4.
Yeah. It seems to be quite a nice price point. Yeah, because it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's one of our top-selling Star Wars sets of the year so far.
And it's been out for
and it's been out for, I mean, we only got it on about the 5th or 6th of the month. So yeah.
I went to collect, I had ordered one online, and when I was at the store I said, now I'll take a second one, and they told me they had just received replacement stock.
Sure.
They kept selling out.
Yeah. Apparently there's a guy in China with an Instagram account. He's filling base plates with just 501st troops, like hundreds of those minifigures.
Oh, nice.
That's brilliant.
Nice. I don't think hundreds have arrived in this country yet. That's the problem.
Yeah. We have almost run out. I think we have a few left. So if you are looking. And we also, Timothy says, hey guys, hope your fingers survive. Yeah, me too. We were actually having a discussion just before this, that during lockdown, and particularly in the last 2 months, neither of us have done a tremendous amount of building, let alone Technic building. So I think it's going to be an interesting exercise, seeing if we manage. We have split this over 3 days, which is something we haven't really done before. So just to give us a little bit more time to get into things, not kill our fingers, and also just to be able to chat and engage on with comments and things. So do keep commenting. We actually can see all the comments from all the channels. So wherever you're watching from, feel free to let us know.
Yeah, I think the thing is surviving will be fine for the build. It's if we have to take it apart. That's where technique really kills you.
This is indeed true. Speaking of which, I actually, in last year's first LEGO League season, we had a robot which was built which somehow had, it was actually one of these pieces. I could even recreate exactly what it was, probably.
Yeah, but you don't want to.
I don't want to. But essentially it was this, and I'll show the camera here quickly. It was one of these like O-shaped pieces with a 3 length, I don't even know what these are called, but then two length pins or rods going through into the sides. You couldn't get them out.
Yeah, you need tweezers.
You couldn't even get tweezers into there.
Yes.
So we actually, that piece still exists in its form.
Yeah.
It has not been taken out yet.
Yeah, so I hope Timothy's doing some building on our big project support item we're busy with for the LUG.
I have heard little things about this big project.
Yes.
I am very excited for it.
So one day when all the pieces are finished, we will.
Yeah, a big unveiling.
Yes. I'm supposed to build 2 of this.
How many people are working on it actually?
Lots of us have pieces at the moment. Just give me a second.
Yeah.
So there's 30. It's the size. I'll give the details. I give the size of the overall project is 30 base plates.
Sure. That's big.
Yeah. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which are still in progress of being built.
Okay.
Built up, height-wise. And then there's a whole bunch of mini builds which go on top of it as well.
Okay.
So some of them are not started, some of them have been done, so it's quite an epic.
Sure. Same build you guys were doing in our boardroom.
Yes, Frank.
There we go. Someone has some more inside information.
Yeah, it happens to be we did some at my offices back way in the day, and then the whole pandemic hit and it's been put on hold, and we've finally been able to distribute pieces.
Oh, okay.
Get the pieces back together, get people. So
Yeah. It has taken a lot of planning to manage who's building what, who needs which pieces at which point in time.
Yes. So
Someone's been managing it well.
yeah, Malcolm's been doing the
Okay, it has been Malcolm.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
been driving the whole thing with
Yeah.
a few other people in the lake helping out.
Okay.
And they packaged it up, and you went and collected, and you got a box with a base plate and a few bags of pieces.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to give too much away. You're definitely ahead of me at the moment.
I know.
We have a question. How do you plan something on that scale?
You have people like, so that one was interesting. So it originally, so this is something called project support, which LEGO offers to LUGs. So it's a bit of advertising for the LUG here. If you're keen to join, check it out, CapeLUG. Let's see what it's today. If you're watching the stream from somewhere not in Cape Town, there's also ZALUG and JHB-LUG. So there's several of them around. I think there's also some others. There's in Durban and PD now. So LEGO offers this to the LUGs, where they basically will give you pieces, but you've got to order, I think it's a minimum of 50,000 pieces, just to put it into scale. So it's a big number of pieces that you need to order. And you've got to submit ideas. And then you've got to work out how many pieces this idea is going to require. So some very clever Excel and some good guesstimating from a lot of experienced builders is what puts it together. And you come up with that. And with building things, the more you build, you get a feel for how much pieces are involved in something. And you look at sets and you get an idea, and you kind of estimate. I would love to say we calculate exactly and get it 100% correct.
So it wasn't designed in any CAD program or anything like that?
So there was a little bit done where it was, there was a lot of Excel work actually, and then the concept, so the idea was done in Excel, and then it was built in one of the LLD, the LEGO LDD, or Studio IO.
Yeah.
So those are free CAD software for building Lego, for those people who don't know. The Studio IO is done by Brickset, the same guys who do Brickset, and is way more up to date. So a couple of the blocks were built to check part counts and conceptually, digitally first. And then, but of course you've got limited time with all of this with Lego, where they want you to get the numbers to them relatively quickly. So
yeah,
you then make an educated guess.
Fair enough. Johan says, enjoy, he'll check in a bit later. Thanks, Johan.
Another LUG member.
Ah, nice.
So Timothy and Johan are both members.
Actually, I think.
LUG?
Yes, I recognize the face.
Ah.
Is everyone in the LUG involved in the project, or was it sort of just those who wanted to, or was it even more exclusive, only those who were chosen?
No, so everyone has the opportunity to build.
Okay.
That's what it was. There was no conditions attached to that. It only because obviously people had to contribute towards these parts.
Yes,
Lego doesn't give you stuff for free.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we said yes, while not everyone can afford to contribute, all of those who did, it's so big that if it was just those who paid for the parts, we would still be building it.
Fair enough.
Way past the deadline.
Yeah.
Way
But
past
also,
the sort of timeline. So it's a big thing about the LUG getting together and building. That's why we, up until the lockdown, we did build together.
Okay.
And we would go to my offices, another person's offices, and build there for the day. Okay, it's not that piece I'm looking for.
No, but I think so often like Lego can seem a little bit out of reach, particularly big scale projects. So I like that finances weren't kept. With what kept people away from being able to be involved in such a project.
Yeah. And Lego is doing project support again this year, and because we haven't finished that previous one, we could not participate again. So they have all of these rules.
Very interesting.
Yeah, no, you have to have actually completed it. And that's
okay.
Look, I do think Lego getting adults involved in the hobby and supporting the LUGs is one of the best marketing strategies they've ever done.
Yes.
Because you've got a bunch of people who buy their product, display their product, and talk about it, and do all of that for free.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's costing us money because it's time and Lego.
Yeah, but it's not costing Lego money.
No. And me talking, and we've obviously done expos outside your stores before.
Yeah.
All of us standing there talking about our hobby for the day.
Yeah.
Has a positive effect.
Yep. Absolutely.
Because you can see how many kids will persuade their parents to go in to a store afterwards and come out with something.
Oh, great. I think I didn't listen to the this instruction. Maybe. Oh no, maybe I did. I just had it the wrong way around. Okay, it seems that mostly fine on the dropped frame count. A few, having said that, it's a little bit off. We'll definitely do some network tests between tonight and tomorrow morning. Just get all the settings absolutely correct.
And then it all depends what the ISP decides to do.
Well, there is also this. Absolutely.
And the part which we have no control about is, while we're currently not being load shed where we are, you don't know what's happening on the network upstream from you.
This is absolutely true.
Interesting. This car perhaps have rear wheel steering.
This is information I do not know.
Because I'm thinking this is very small steering angles.
That is.
If I bring it in here, you can see they turn very slightly. I'm thinking that this is the rear end that is currently being produced.
That is very interesting. That's going through there. Okay. I'm going to quickly, I think, just to keep things moving, play the second episode of the webisodes which LEGO have released with the build. So this one is titled History and Heritage. Sorry, there was actually a slight glitch there. I'm just trying to work out where the episode file has disappeared to. We'll be back shortly. There we go, episode 2, History and Heritage.
Let's try again.
Let's try this one again.
When we went for our first inspiration trip to meet Lamborghini, I was a bit nervous because we had never seen the car before in real life, and I never visited Lamborghini before either. So it's always with a bit of nervousness, because what's actually going to meet you, and how does the volume of the car actually present itself, and how are the people that you're going to meet.
When I saw that LEGO was creating a scale model of the Sián, I was really interested, because when I was a little child, LEGO Technic was my drug, okay? This is perhaps one of the reasons for what I am a mechanical engineer. So I say, hi guys, I have to be part of this project.
It was the first time, I think, I was thinking, okay, this one, I have to find out how to build it. It was a very nice car, so I was really pleased to go home and try to make a LEGO car like this. Yeah.
Sián is by chance one of our pinnacle production, one of the most beautiful cars we produce in terms of design for sure, you can see clearly. But also in terms of technical side, it's really important, it's really crucial for our strategy because it's the first hybrid car that we put in production. Moreover, it's really exclusive, so we have only very limited series. That is the added value more. And also, let me say, from LEGO point of view, recreating each single particles and also the real shape of the car is crazy, because it's really complicated also to build up the real car. The LEGO guys did a great job when you see that each single part is moving and so on. Honestly, I'm still a little child when I saw this kind of toys.
For my sake, I was in no doubt afterwards. It was a great collaboration. And we saw a lot of really interesting things about this car. Also a lot of things I can't tell about here, because we saw secret stuff also, of course. But that tells you something about the collaboration we have with a partner like this. So seeing the real car for me was like a little bit out of breath when seeing it first, because it is very, very special. Something that's also really important when we visit a partner for the first visit is also to understand what's the whole thinking behind the design they are doing. We may not see the actual car at the first meeting, but understanding what are their thoughts behind, what's the design ethos, what's the heritage of a brand like Lamborghini is also super important.
So, Polo Storico, to explain to you briefly, first of all, we have to translate. Polo Storico are two Italian words that you can translate in English like historical hub. Why hub? Because the general purpose, the idea, was to create a 360 degrees service for the customer, for the heritage customer. If you are a collector and you have your own Lamborghini, Heritage One, means from 1963 for us until Diablo production, so 2002 now, and starting off the Murcielago. Your car, we are able to come at home, at you, bring the car back here with taking care of custom, duties, all the bureaucracy to bring the car here. We will completely strip the car. We understand which are the parts that need to be replaced, which part, and this is the major part, we will restore, and which part needs a completely new part. That will bring back the car to the original beauty when the vehicle left the production line 50 years ago, more or less, depends on the model, and we are able to bring back to you the full restored car.
When we met with Paolo, him explaining about the heritage of a brand like Lamborghini and their history is super important for our process also and for our thinking, because the Sián is also a car that really plays homage to some of the older cars from Lamborghini, especially the Countach. So understanding the whole design ethos back in time also on those cars, that's really important.
So when you do a scale model, an interpretation of a real Lamborghini, in this case is the Sián, I think that few particles could not be, let me say, a compromise. But of course, the emblema, clear, this must be on the car. But also if you remove the emblema, the logo from the car, you can immediately recognize that it's a Lamborghini. The real point is the design of the car. The most difficult part is the proportion. If you take the Sián, it's really extreme in terms of proportion. It's really low, really large. The rear part of the car is really long in comparison with the front one that is really aggressive. Of course, this is a matter of design, but not only. It's also a matter of technological choice. because in the back part you have the engine. It is a huge engine. It's a 6.5 liter V12 plus the electrical motor in this case. So the way to replicate the rear part of the car and the engine with the right proportion for me is a must to have. The other part are clearly the door, because the scissor door are by chance our trademark for the V12 and for the special series V12, and the design also of the movable wings in the back, that is another typical emblem.
So listening to Paolo, it was really obvious to me how important the heritage of that company is. And then we also visited the archive of the cars they have done through the time. And
it was magic to stand and see this paper, where you actually can see who bought this car, or who owned this car, or what color it was, and all this. It was very nice.
Yeah, so they had this paper, a piece of paper for every single car they ever made, right?
We have roughly 28,000 pieces of paper, which each single vehicle, how it was produced, and what are the specifications, what were the requests of the customer, if he decided to have the paint like the nail of his wife or whatever. And we have all the technical drawing from the beginning till now. Means that we are able to certify exactly your car. And this is, let me say, one of the most complicated process, because you can imagine that a car changes ownership very often. For this reason, I mean a 360 degrees to the customer, because I'm able to restore the car, to certify, and to ensure you that it is authentic. Supercars is in the DNA of Lamborghini since the beginning, of course. There is, of course, few legends about how Lamborghini decided, Mr. Ferruccio decided to start to produce supercars. At the basis, let me say that there is the willing to create something unique. This is the real reason behind. Of course, there is the legend about this fight with Ferrari and what they did on the clutch of his Ferrari at the time. But in any case, there was the volunteer by a man that made himself doing a completely different job. Their real business was tractor, to create something unique and something really fun to drive. That is exactly what you can find in each single super sport car of the Lamborghini history till now. By definition, our super sport cars are disruptive. If you look at our history, all the design and all the features of the car, of course, we have very outstanding performances. Clear, this is the basis for a supercar. But you have design that are really distinctive, really something that must be a masterpiece every time. And this is the leitmotif of our supercar till the last super sports car that we produce now.
And we're back. Those videos are quite something to augment the building experience. You learn a lot of information.
Yeah, very technical information. I see Frank made a comment. That's the thing about Technic. It's always a guessing game what you're actually working on.
Yes.
That's not just with Technic though. I have found with some of the other normal sets nowadays that you build these obscure pieces and they fit together.
Yeah.
The designers seem to be pushing the boundaries more and more.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes it's, in the past it always used to be, so I'm building this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow I must pull out, I have the original Technic car. The first big one that they released in '77. I've got it built. Just maybe bring that out.
Oh yeah. We could do that. I might also see if I can find some of our old ones.
This is not the one everyone chases after. This is the one from 1977. This is the one from '78.
That's the one everyone wants.
Yes, which I would like as well, but I've not been able to get my hands on.
Yeah.
A very, very quick model.
Mm.
And earlier on I asked a question about is there rear wheel steering. While you were watching the video, I put these pieces on here, which makes it all solid, so obviously not.
Oh, I hope I've done this right. This seems strange.
What?
To be putting these two-length axles just into nowhere.
No, it doesn't. It goes into. Oh yeah, no. It's just it stops it from going too far.
Yeah, no.
It's
just being used as a stopper.
a stopper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just feels
Get the part
different.
counter. Come on. You should know by now. It's all about part count.
Can you see it in the picture? There's the.
Yes.
Oh wait, maybe
Yeah.
it's not focusing on it.
No.
Okay, useful to know that the focal distance doesn't change when you put things close to the camera.
Yeah. So some of these new big Technic frames.
You are talking about.
These things.
Yes. Yes.
They're very cool.
Yeah. And Francois, I've got to run, guys. Have fun building. Thanks so much for watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, go enjoy your evening. Hopefully you don't have load shedding. I think we're potentially expecting some of it later.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just see what happens then.
Remember, there's always tomorrow and
Yes,
Sunday.
tomorrow and Sunday. So do come back. Do keep checking in. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but just keep checking. It's good to see someone is watching on Twitch. We actually created a Twitch account for the first time, just for this build, to make sure we were streaming on all platforms that we could. So I'm glad to see that. I've built something wrong. Oops. Oh, I had it the wrong way around. That also doesn't help because then I built this wrong. Oh, great.
starting on the front part of any Technic build, where you start putting the gears together, and always just make sure they turn.
Yes.
Every step of the way, as much as possible.
Yeah.
Make sure
It was last year we had the problem with the Land Rover.
Well, no. It's just the fact that the Land Rover's engine doesn't move when everything else does.
Was that the problem?
That was the thing at the end.
Trying to remember
Yeah.
what the issues were.
There's so many little things in that, and watching a lot of videos afterwards, there's like, you need to make sure that you match this point.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, that would have been really useful to know beforehand.
Yeah. Yep.
This one, what will probably come up in the comments is, have you seen color differences? Well, tonight, we're working at night, the lighting's not great. So no, all the greens look the same.
I was going to say, all the pieces look the same.
Yeah. Well, look, these green bars, like lightsaber pieces, is a different green to the rest, but that's about all you can notice. Yes, you'll find out you do have lightsaber pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's definitely a different green.
But they're smaller than a normal lightsaber. They're like plant pieces.
No, yes, they're three long.
They're 3 long.
Yeah.
I think I've seen them used in plants, which I think is probably why they're that color green, because that looks like a plant green.
Very possibly.
I am curious to see at the end, speaking of color, there was some criticism of the fact that you can see the blue pins coming out the top.
Oh, no, that's not the one I'm referring to.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, it's like these pieces, but I can't tell any difference right
No.
now.
At the moment, it doesn't seem to be obvious.
Yeah, but blue pins sticking out of is a problem with like every single leg.
Well, this is what I figured, but I'd seen a lot of criticism for it, and I thought it seemed a bit unfair.
Wow. Okay. That makes it easy for you.
Oh my. Yeah, dropping the frames again. Not sure why.
It really doesn't make sense. There's apparently just the two of us in the house.
After this is done, we can just do a test. It's got a test option in the program that we're using. Just give it a test and see what it reckons is the problem. Ah, finally, this is going to link up.
It feels, what I'm busy building here, it feels quite extreme as to how little you do step by step.
Yes.
It's push the axle in here with one gear. Next step is now put another gear in and push the axle in a little step further. It's like,
Seems a bit strange.
But I guess we are building the complex, I think it's 8-speed gearbox again. It's the same number as the Bugatti.
Yeah. Cool, that section is done. Let's put that there for now.
Oh, you also finished the back piece.
Yeah.
So you're now starting on.
Yeah. I don't know if that means I'm catching up or not so much.
What step number are you on?
34.
Oh, yeah, no.
So have I slowed down?
Yeah, but the thing is, as I say, some of these steps are one
Yes.
gear at the moment.
Yeah. I also, this afternoon, I went for a quick run because I normally go for a run on a Saturday and knew that I wouldn't be able to do that tomorrow. And my legs are starting to feel it. Now sitting in the same place.
Yeah, so you still do the park run.
Yeah, I
What's
have
that
been.
supposed to connect to? Oh, it's one of these magic ones where it just hovers there.
Yeah. That's how it works.
For like 5 steps.
Well, there was the one in this one which hovered for like the whole time until we finished that middle section.
So what I'm talking about here is I need to take one of these red pieces and put it here. But there's no pins or anything yet. No, I get it. I need to push the axle from the other end to get it through to put it on now. There's a tiny little yellow arrow I missed in the instructions.
There you go.
I was like, what am I sticking that onto? just like that, I go back 7 steps. Where did they come from?
What did we say we needed to get to tonight?
End of this box.
End of this box.
Yes.
Okay. Suddenly thought we'd possibly said end of the next box.
No. Tomorrow's going to be a long day, so when we built the Land Rover last year, we used the famous Technic builder's Sariel's build time as a guide.
Yeah.
And we took approximately 2 hours longer than what he did to build it. And he took 9.5 hours to build this one. So we are not delusional, and we said, okay, we need a weekend.
Yeah.
And there's, as you saw when we unboxed it, there's 6 boxes. So the idea is to do 1 box tonight, do box 2, 3, and 4 tomorrow, and then we finish off with box 5 and 6 on Sunday, because box 6 is the wheels.
Yes.
So we don't think that will. Look, if we're feeling strong tomorrow, we may carry on a little bit further, but
yeah,
we'll see how we do after.
And it's starting to feel nice and solid. So, okay, I'm still sent in the frame. Suddenly thought I'm leaning towards looking at this iPad.
So, positive news, everything turns.
Well, that's good.
Relatively freely. I'll put in enough gears that the whole thing turns. Of course, we could possibly be. No, actually, no, load shedding dropped to stage 1 now, so we're fine.
We should be fine.
Yeah, we should be fine. Otherwise, we end the stream at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we carry on tomorrow. Because I've just noticed it's 7:25 already.
Mm.
So we're very glad we did not commit to.
No. I think we've learned, I mean, with Peter's build, when we built the Bugatti as well, we only ended up having enough time to finish one of the 2, because we sort of started tag teaming.
Yeah, I think I finished it off while you.
I think you did actually, because Peter had to get back to the airport. Yeah, and I'm sure that was close. Getting him on a flight. So after this being the 3rd year now, we've definitely learned that planning time, we need to plan extra time.
So have you had a look at the new Spike Prime stuff for the?
Interestingly, I've been looking at it today.
Okay.
So I am very educated on the matter.
Okay.
Yeah, I have been informed that it is very the retail one, at least, if that's what you're referring to, the new release of it, is actually not the Spike Prime.
I'm talking about the educational one.
Oh, are you?
Yes, specific. So Spike Prime is the educational one, from what I understand.
Yes.
There's a Mindstorms one which
Called the
is
Robot Inventor, coming in October.
Yeah, which is the replacement to Mindstorms.
Which is the replacement to the EV3. So both are replacements to the EV3.
But one's the
education one, and one is the consumer one. There are big differences between them, but interestingly enough, even though they have been named differently, I didn't realize that the actual hub itself is actually the same.
Okay.
It's just a different coloring.
Okay. And
but
was it the same with the EV3?
Yeah, so with the EV3, it's the exact same thing. It was the same, it was called the brick or the brain, depending on who you were and when you spoke about it. But it was the same brick, the controller brick for the EV3. The only difference was that there was different firmware which you could load onto it.
Nice.
So you had the education firmware or you had the retail firmware. What appears with the education one is that it is far more colorful in that the battery is yellow, a bright yellow, whereas the battery in the Robot Inventor, the retail one, is much more, it blends in with the actual hub itself. It's a white with the hub. So that's one of the differences there. But in terms of the actual sets themselves, I didn't realize quite how much of a difference between them there is. The retail one appears to have a huge amount more pieces, which is different to the, I think if I remember correctly, it's different to the EV3.
Yeah, I think the EV3.
Where the EV3, the education one, had more pieces. And sorry, I'm just trying to work out, is that the right, I think that's the right piece. The education one had more pieces and the retail one had less pieces. But having said that, the education one does not have, sorry, the retail one does not have the new force sensor, which I thought was a really great improvement on the touch sensor. So previously the touch sensor, you just had a sort of on-off Boolean option.
Yeah.
Whereas now it actually measures in newtons.
Oh wow!
Which is a big improvement.
Can you program these from like an iPad now, if I understand correctly, or do you still need a laptop?
No, you can pretty much program it on anything. It's based on a Scratch version. It's pretty much Scratch now.
Okay, cool.
As far as I understand it, you just install the plugins for Scratch and it works. Okay. But there is also full Python support.
Oh wow!
At least in the retail one. I don't know about the education one, but in the retail one, there's full Python support, like native support. So there was, I think, I can't remember whether it was Java or C support on the EV3, but it wasn't done by LEGO. It was done by some third party. Okay. Whereas this is now native support for Python programming.
So maybe just quickly explain Scratch for those people who are out there who are really confused about this.
Well, we got very technical there. This is a good time to talk about that. So Scratch is a drag and drop programming environment. I can't think of what I would say it's similar to. But essentially you have blocks. Sorry, I'm going to pause my thing while I work out where okay, that is the right place.
It's blocks you drag around to do your programming logic. It's a very good educational thing and used in a lot of actual educational scenarios to teach people the basics of coding.
In fact, it is the grade 10 IT syllabus as part of the National Senior Certificate.
Okay, I didn't know that part.
So yes, you have to learn Scratch to do IT at high school. Okay. But essentially it's you've got each block as a different command or requiring some information. So it might be asking for some information from the sensor or something like that, and you string these blocks together and create a program, and then that downloads onto the hub, and you press run on the hub and off it goes and does what you've programmed it to do.
Yeah, cool. So is that going to change your approach for the robotics league?
I am going to need to learn how to use it. I'm actually waiting for the Robot Inventor to come out before I do anything, because I've decided I want to get the Robot Inventor. Because I'll tell you the other difference between them. The Robot Inventor has 4 medium motors.
Okay.
Which is a new thing. It's got no large motors, but the medium motors are supposedly just as powerful as the current EV3 large motors. But the advantage of the medium ones is where the motors, a good example was the large motors used to look a bit weirdly shaped.
Yes.
A bit like that, obviously much bigger. The medium motors on this Robot Inventor are now completely square. So not square, rectangular, but square corners, 90-degree angle corners, which means it'll fit into builds so much easier. It's still got the axle through it, so it can be used for running a drive motor or anything like that. But it'll mean that adding in a Robot Inventor even into a car like this will be much easier to do, because they're much smaller, like more in the same style as Lego, where it's that 90-degree angle corners. The education one, on the other hand, only comes with 2 medium motors, but comes with 1 large motor. Okay. So quite a few differences.
And I have really stepped up here.
That's fine. We'll give you time to catch up.
Yeah, but I'm struggling to get the beams out.
Oh no!
All the axles. Because this thing is very solid.
Oh, that's why. I'm starting to do steps twice. I was looking for a piece which is no longer in my pile of pieces because I've already done that step.
Yeah, that would generally stop it.
How am I turning this? Like that, I think.
Yo.
Are you managing there?
Not really.
Not really, oh no.
Fingers are like slipping. Because it goes through 2, so it's in there and in there, and I need to get that out because this is too high.
Okay, let me just check that I'm on that exact place. Let me just check that I haven't done the same.
Oh no, this is way later. I've got another 3rd level on. Yeah, yours is right.
Okay, mine's right, okay.
Yeah, but I put the axles in here. I can see one of them is coming. Yeah, you've done it correctly.
Okay. I just was checking because I'm on the exact step which needs putting that piece in place. So I was just ensuring that I hadn't made that mistake. Okay, I think I know everything there. Oh, while Alain tries to fix his mistake, let's take a look at actually what the final product will look like. Give us some what's the word? Motivation.
Yeah.
Yes.
on.
I just want to actually see where we are on the stream. Okay, I did that step.
And they'll stick out like that.
Ow.
Piles of pieces don't seem to be disappearing.
I was also starting to think that.
Although I have got through a lot of the axles, I will say that, but I still have a fair number of gears left.
Yeah. I have also just thought, from the having a UPS on the internet might mean that the stream can keep going, but we might not be able to see anything.
Oh yeah, no, if it goes out tonight we've got problems.
I hadn't actually thought that far yet. Okay, stuff's complete.
But look,
Ugh, I'm not
it's stage
super
one.
fast.
Officially it's stage one.
Okay. We should be good.
You're supposed to not have for stage one,
Yeah.
I think. Now you challenging me and I'm going to quickly.
I'm challenging you in what?
It's like, have I read it correctly?
Oh. Sorry.
Yes, it's correct.
Okay.
And I just, because they can, blue piece as well. And a little 2x
Oh.
beam in the gearbox. That's just, I take what I'm building right now. If
Yes.
it's not the gearbox and it's got this many gears in it,
I would be a little bit concerned.
yes.
For the designer, most of all.
Yeah, let's just put this in because we can.
He might have been going through something. Or she. Not that I think it is a he if I've watched the videos correctly.
It was
Yes.
the designers.
Okay. It was him.
Finally getting to use the pieces designed for Getty to give us this more shifts. That's interesting orange pieces.
Yes. We still have 2 people watching, one on Twitch, one on Facebook. I assume you're the one on Facebook.
Possibly. Okay, so that's in like that, yes, it's done. Yeah, as long as the Facebook stream has not crashed again for me, it would be me watching it.
Yeah, I actually want to
But that could just be Facebook being temperamental.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go, when we finish, I'm gonna go rewatch all the streams and see if anything interesting can be spotted.
You don't need to sleep tonight.
I'm planning on sleeping. Definitely planning on sleeping. Ooh, I like that.
Like what?
The use of these gears in opposite me.
Oh yes.
I'm in
Yes.
the wrong place of the camera. Here. Where am I pointing? Here.
Those.
Yes. Where it's got, because you can essentially end up with two directions of movement going in at the same time, which is quite nice. This is the one part about Technic building which I struggle to find the use for, apart from just being correct to like authentic to the actual model, but is gearing.
Yeah, so in the early ones, like the one from 1977, I
Yeah.
actually got to understand about gearing. Now I just follow instructions because it's so complicated.
It's incredibly complicated. But I'm also just thinking, like, when I'm building Technic things for robotics competitions or other things like that, I've got to the place where, oh no, okay, there's the yellow arrow.
Okay, so it wasn't just me.
It wasn't just you. Oh, that's useful to know.
I don't know how you're ever going to pull the second part.
No, I don't think you will. Sorry, what I was saying was that in, like, for robotics building, you very rarely use gearboxes. So yeah, when you're wanting it from either the play point of view or from a usefulness point of view, so if you're building something to actually operate, I don't often find the gearboxes to be, although I think it was the Land Rover that I was watching after we built it last year. I was curious to see if someone had motorized it, and I watched a YouTube video of someone who had motorized it very effectively, I might add. And they kept the gearbox, at least part of it. They didn't keep all the gears, but kept the gearbox in, and had that it was motorized. It was, you could change it by a motor.
Oh, that's cool.
And it actually did change the speeds of driving the car. So I suppose, having just said what I said, there possibly is some use.
I'm trying to think, where was it now? Someone built a CVT gearbox now not too long ago. I think it was Sorrel again. So it's a continuously variable transmission.
Yes.
Just because building a normal gearbox is not challenging enough, I think.
Nope.
And that's not
Actually,
an insult, that's just a, you know, we say we struggle to understand these followed instructions, and there he goes and builds a way more complicated version.
Yep.
Shows how talented a builder he is. But I know he's also released apps on the Android store for gear ratios and for calculating all of this stuff.
Oh, that's very cool. Ooh, I was about to make a similar mistake to you. Putting it one too high. Just on the opposite side.
No, the opposite side does stick up a bit.
Yeah, I was going to put it one even one higher.
Okay.
This may make more sense later on, but over here, if this piece is moved either way, it makes
It locks it.
no difference because when it moves here, only when it's in the center does it change, because both of these they're connected in between, in the middle. Or have I built it wrong?
No, you built it correct.
The only difference is if it's in the center. If it's on either side, the action is identical. Not sure if anyone watching can see, but when I move it that side or when I move it that side, it doesn't change. I was
So
trying to.
I think it's to do with, because you're going to put an orange, so if you look on mine, I've already got the orange.
Okay.
Which hops between the two.
Okay.
So to get the combinations, and the other one is further back here.
Okay. Okay. We'll see. I was trying to understand after our conversation about understanding the gearbox. I was trying to, and it wasn't working.
Yeah, no, I get it. Also, it's the first thing we're building late at night.
Yeah, there's also that.
Well, not that late, but after a full day's work.
You're on the stress of getting the stream working.
Yeah, full day's work on a lot of meetings, and then it's like, okay, now let's just get the stream. Yeah, I don't think that the LEGO designers ever had any intention of anyone pulling this apart.
No, no, but I think that was the same with the Bugatti.
No, I don't think it was quite as solid.
You don't
I
think
know
so?
the Porsche, there was one part which isn't very solid because I managed to pick that up and it fell off.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, this putting axles in is basically all the sides.
Yeah.
There's
That's
6 of them holding the whole thing together, holding these 3 new frames together.
sure. Oh, it's so exciting when building techniques which I use in my own builds are used here. Particularly because it's the kind of technique which you sort of think, oh, that seems silly, but it works, so I'm going to do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And you're sort of like, oh, I'm sure there's a better way or a piece which I don't have which would be better to use in this instance. But in fact, for those watching, the mechanism I'm referring to is this combination of 2 pieces with an axle between them.
Well, now I get to see if I built all of this correctly.
The second time.
Yeah, because these 2 pieces supposedly fit together somehow.
Ah. I was starting to wonder whether we were building arbitrary parts.
Yes, so that goes into there. I don't think that hooks up with anything. Okay,
It does fit.
it does fit.
Good job.
That turns that, but it's not really connected yet.
Okay.
Okay, and those make sense that they actually go out the front now. So I'm guessing the rest of these, so as you guys can see now, the piece that I built earlier on is now connected to the gearbox. And one of the features that this model's been spoken about is the gearbox we're actually going to be able to see on the completed model. It's open from the bottom.
Oh, very nice.
So this is actually the bottom of the vehicle, and you've got the whole section.
That's going to be nice. What step are you on there?
118.
Oh, great.
And you?
Not 118.
That won't admit how far.
I am on 81, for those interested.
Yeah, but look, I will be honest, step 118 was push 2 pins which were put together like probably step 10.
Ah.
Down. Which was not actually using any pieces.
Okay. Huh? Where's this guy? There.
Ah, I know what that is. Yeah, I met some more of those lovely steps where it's just these 2 pieces. what was really interesting for me was I only actually built my Bugatti in December last year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I just live stream and then I just left it and I just never.
Sure.
So I took it up to go and see my folks in last year and built it while there.
Nice. Yeah, that's the one thing which is nice about these live builds is that I do build mine.
Mm. So actually that was the last Technic set I built was that.
Okay, wasn't the Land Rover.
It wasn't the Land Rover, I just realised now.
Okay.
For a long time I thought it was the Land Rover from last year.
We could do some experiments afterwards.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is coming up on camera very well. I'm trying to see. Have a look at those two pins. Can you see a color difference on them? On the video feed.
Can't see it too much on the video.
Have a look at them in person.
Have a look, see.
Or 10.
Yeah.
The chances of you getting ones which don't actually match color wise.
Yeah. Why does it feel like my pieces in front of me aren't diminishing?
Because mine aren't even. I've still got
Great.
still long way to go. I don't even know how many pieces on this set. Sure.
That is a useful piece of information to know.
Oh, 3,696
Yeah.
on the back of the box. Must have an American box. Because the strange thing is in America, every single LEGO set must always have a piece count.
I have been seeing quite a few things on social media of European boxes which have been distributed to America and they've had stickers put on top of them.
Yes, because they ran out.
Because, yeah. And I found that quite interesting.
Oh, that goes down like that. Yeah, so because most of the American Lego is produced in Mexico.
Yes, that I did.
And that factory's been closed for a long time.
Yeah.
So
That I did
in
know.
order to still keep supplying the desperate Lego builders everywhere in the world,
Yeah.
you need another 35 of those battle packs and
Yes.
all the other things. They started. Because look, let's be honest, your shelves have been emptier than normal this year.
Yep. Absolutely. We're slowly managing to get stocked up again. Yeah, it seems also one of the problems with South Africa has been that the normally Lego South Africa, the company has an option to the default is to sea freight the stuff here, but that takes literally months. So if they need stuff urgently, or if, like, the country's run out of stock of a specific item which is of high demand, they air freight it and it gets here in a week.
Yes.
But because of all the problems of short supply and everything, they're not allowed to air freight anymore at the moment.
Okay, that's interesting.
So everything which they are getting, which we can then order, is only stuff which has been planned months before and then ordered. So any sort of changes in the market, so if for example, it wasn't expected that the 501st Legion thingy was going to be so popular and not enough were ordered for the country, it'll be another few months before they'll get here.
So the problem, like the problem with the Land Rover.
Like the problem with the Land Rover. So it's really a case of hoping that everyone forecasts correctly.
So hopefully they've done a good job with the Razor Quest, because like that one's selling like.
I can see that.
Because you're going to get the young Yoda minifig for the first time.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of these two boxes has yellow elastic bands in it.
Which one?
I don't know, they've both got different numbers.
You could Google the part number.
We're going to end up using.
I am so scared I'm putting this the wrong way around.
Oh well, that's positive. That was good luck.
Was it the other one?
The number 995 one.
Okay, use what's in there.
This is a big. When last did you see an elastic band that size?
I have collections of elastic bands at home.
But that's not normally in the sets.
But
so
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about seeing it in a set.
Okay, and of course they show it upright and the elastic band slightly loose on this, but that's not actually how things work. Put the elastic band on, it pulls it tight.
Okay, I'm starting to notice that I'm using the last of certain pieces, which is a good sign.
Yeah, I'm getting down on axles, but.
Like I'm using the last of these orange,
Oh yes.
for those watching, the last of those orange pieces. this correctly. Yes, I have.
Paranoia is strong.
It is, because I've been watching you get it wrong.
I made the one mistake. I picked up the rest quite quickly.
The problem is that I can't be laughing at you if I'm making the same mistakes.
Yes. Wow. You kind of know this is an important step when they've got things from multiple angles. It's like, don't get this wrong.
Definitely.
Okay, so there must be. Okay, so that's upright. That's upright. This should be upright. Yes. So this one's at an angle. So this should just. Okay, that's not too bad. Well, thankfully we didn't need to end the stream at 8 o'clock, which is a load you need.
Oh, I didn't realize that it passed.
It's quite well past.
Yes. Fairly sure that won't be happening now.
And of course we could just jinx the whole thing.
We could have, and then we will kick ourselves. If we disappear suddenly, you are aware why. That's an interesting choice in gearing. Create a bit of friction.
Which part are you talking about?
Two of the smallest gears right next to each other.
Hey, yes, I didn't notice that.
I need to stand up and stretch my legs, so let's see if there's something which we can put on while I do that. Don't really want to do any more episodes tonight, but let's actually look at that launch video which we watched earlier. We've got the behind the scenes for that. Let's just check that it is going to load now. And we're back. We just used the opportunity to stretch our legs a little bit. It's starting to get to that stage. The spread of pieces is, let me show you a quick comparison between, this is going to be mine.
A lot more substantial built here. There are a lot fewer pieces.
Yes.
And just looking at it now, I think most of this is going to be in the next big construction piece, which is going to be attached to this. Which will build up the front.
Okay, let's try catch up. I wasn't catching up in the morning.
Oh my. What step were you on?
A step.
Okay.
110.
So you've got 71 steps to go to finish this box.
Oh my word.
I just scrolled down. I have I'm starting 137 now. So I'm only 27 ahead of you.
Okay, so you're not as far ahead as I thought you were.
But man, that's a lot of steps still to go.
Yeah. Okay. We might not. Might not get through all of this.
Luckily we're building here tomorrow again, so we can just call it.
I did that the wrong way, I think. Okay.
Well, it kind of makes sense that box 1 and box 2 are the big parts, and then the rest are actually smaller.
Yeah. No, that does make sense. Okay, gears still seem to be working, which is good. Oops, sorry. Just suddenly had a thought.
What?
And the next episode is only on page 138. The next
Which episode is that?
9. So we have 7 still to go, but we'll play them tomorrow.
Hmm.
I'd rather play them while there are 3 people watching on Facebook and 1 on Twitch at the moment, so a few people.
Okay.
The episodes we're speaking of, for those who are watching, are the or webisodes, I think they've been called, are the supplementary guides, not guides, documentary style videos which LEGO have produced to do with the making process of the model. They can all be found. If you missed the first 2, you can go and check on LEGO's own website. You can just, if you search for the LEGO Lamborghini webisodes, you'll be able to find them.
Yeah, because Lamborghini is easier to spell than Sián. And I think they call it the LEGO Lamborghini.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. There we go. Several people watching. Perhaps I will play a short thing just to show what we are building. So for those who have joined us, and if you're joining us for the first time, you might not be sure what we're doing exactly. Here is a short version of the launch video for this, the LEGO Lamborghini, the Technic flagship model of the year. Yeah, so that's what we've embarked on, the journey of building. As you can see, we've at slightly different places. One of us with more pieces than the other. But I'm currently working on the gearbox, which has this double layer. It's looking very nice.
I think I'm busy building the floor of the car.
Ah, nice. Okay. I get to link the two together. This is exciting. And I get to see if I have made any mistakes.
No, that comes on Sunday morning when we drive these cars around.
This is also true. Well, it fits.
There's only like one clip which holds that together. There's one pin
Yeah.
which actually holds it together at that stage.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so we have married the two together. Where am I showing this? Here we go. Keep remembering that the camera thing is the opposite of the motion that I have to move. Ooh, push some pins down. There we go.
There we go, step ticked off.
One step.
There we go, and just doubled the size of the build.
Oh wow,
Suddenly gets big.
that got big very quickly.
But the pile of pieces is getting smaller and smaller, so.
Lucky you.
Yeah, but most of those pieces went into the part I just clipped on now.
Ah, okay.
It was all the big pieces. I don't know if it feels flimsy. So this is definitely one of the models targeted at adult builders, but sometimes I wonder about how big they think or small they think our thinkers are.
Well, this is the problem when you have designers who build for kids. Now designing for adults. Because possibly one of the job criteria is that you have to have small fingers if you're going to work at LEGO.
Maybe.
Or maybe it's just a characteristic of... Although I shouldn't say that in case there are any Danish people watching. But perhaps the Danes are notoriously small-handed.
Are these two new pieces?
A
larger...
It does look new.
So I don't remember seeing it. This is what I'm used to seeing, is the small versions in my left hand, and there's a larger version now. Together.
Yeah, I haven't seen this before. It is a much bigger version. I think that must... Yeah, it's new for me. I built that wrong already. Great. Let's just get all the pieces before I start building.
Most things do.
Mm-hmm.
left. Very few pieces left.
Nice.